Imagine an era that looked perfect from the outside, a quiet Las Vegas cul-de-sac, 4 homes standing side by side, and a family that insisted they were finally living their dream. But what if that dream was already breaking? What if while one set of children were thriving, another part of the family was quietly drifting into the shadow of favoritism? And what if the big Flagstaff move, the one that shattered everything, was never really about escape, money, or a spiritual revelation, but about one college decision the family never saw coming? Tonight, we revisit the Vegas years through a new lens. Through Janelle's children. Through Christine's revelations. Through the choices Kody made when he believed no one was watching. Part 1. The Vegas cul-de-sac was supposed to be the Browns' golden era. After years of cramped rentals and legal uncertainty, the family spread out into 4 custom homes. For a moment, just a moment, it looked like peace. But that peace didn't extend evenly across all 4 households. Janelle's children, Logan, Maddie, Hunter, Garrison, Gabriel, and Savannah, flourished in Vegas. Sports, school, leadership roles, college prep. Fans often describe them as the most grounded of all the Brown kids. And many credit that to Janelle's calm, structured parenting. But while Janelle's kids were finding their identity, so was Kody. And many fans believe that identity was tied almost entirely to one house, Robyn's. The rotation slowed. The energy shifted. The signs were there, long before the move. Fans began noticing patterns. Week after week, Janelle's kids appeared more independent, handling school, jobs, and struggles with each other, largely without Kody present. Meanwhile, Robyn's home became the emotional headquarters of the entire family. Kody doesn't show up unless it's Robyn's kids. The favoritism isn't even subtle anymore. Janelle's kids basically raised themselves. But favoritism alone didn't explain the growing resentment. The true trigger was still hidden. Christine later described these years with a calm honesty in her book, but also with an undercurrent of grief. She saw the imbalance growing. She saw Kody's excuses. She saw the emotional distance widening. And eventually, all those imbalances led to one of the most shocking reveals in Sister Wives history. When Kody announced the move to Flagstaff, the family scrambled. Kids cried. Wives argued. The public rolled their eyes. Because the official reason never quite made sense. Kody claimed taxes were too high in Vegas. That he felt spiritually suffocated. That they needed a fresh start. But privately, according to Christine's book, the wives discovered the move was really driven by one major factor. Dayton, Robyn's eldest son. Dayton had chosen a college in Flagstaff. And Kody, completely attached to Robyn's household, made a life-altering decision for the entire family, based on one child's education. The wives weren't angry about Dayton's dreams. They were shocked by the secrecy. Christine wrote about the moment they realized what had happened. And that realization hit Janelle's kids the hardest, especially those who were already thriving in Vegas. Logan preparing for college. Maddie's engagement era. Hunter's Air Force Academy application. Garrison and Gabriel's teenage years. They were uprooted, for someone else's child. And for many, the wound never fully healed. The chaos in Flagstaff is now legendary. Financial strain, isolation, emotional breakdowns, Kody's rules, COVID drama, and the collapse of almost every relationship he had outside Robyn's home. But the real breaking point was how the move exposed the favoritism Vegas once hid. Janelle's boys, Garrison and Gabriel, felt abandoned. Hunter expressed distance. Maddie openly said the move made no sense. Even Logan, the peacemaker, recognized the shift. They had thrived when they were allowed stability. And with the move, that stability disappeared. This wasn't a family choice. It was a Kody and Robyn choice. The Vegas kids lost everything. The favoritism finally destroyed the whole thing. This is the moment fans say the family was never the same again. After the move, almost every relationship crumbled. Christine left. Janelle emotionally checked out. Meri found herself isolated. And Kody, by his own admission, gave up on several kids. But what hurt fans most was seeing the long-term effect on the children. Gabriel's heartbreaking story during COVID. Garrison begging for connection. Savannah crying on camera. These weren't moments of teenage rebellion, they were moments of abandonment. And every time fans retrace the family timeline, they circle back to one era, the Vegas cul-de-sac. Because that's where everything looked balanced, until it wasn't. He destroyed the best chapter they ever had. Janelle's kids deserved better. Christine told the truth and Kody couldn't handle it. Fans today are revisiting the Vegas era with fresh eyes. And this time, they're noticing something new. What if the Vegas era wasn't just the Browns' golden age, but the blueprint for everything that would later go wrong? The tight distance between homes. The rotation schedule Kody couldn't maintain. The early signs of favoritism. The emotional divide. Dayton's growing independence. Robyn's influence. The wives' shifting dynamics. All the future cracks actually began there. So when Christine revealed the truth about Dayton's college being the real catalyst for the move, fans didn't see it as a betrayal. They saw it as confirmation. Janelle's children thrived not because everything was perfect, but because they learned resilience. And Christine's truth-telling gave voice to the confusion they carried for years. And now, as fans revisit the cul-de-sac era, the story becomes clearer. The Vegas dream was real, but so were the choices that quietly unraveled it. Part 2. What makes someone defend a belief, long after it has broken them? Why would a woman who walked away from a 30-year marriage still protect the very system that caused her children pain? And what happens when her new partner, David, finally tells the truth about how polygamy shattered his family, and millions of fans hear it for the first time? Tonight, we unravel the question that lit the Sister Wives fandom on fire. Why does Janelle keep defending polygamy, even now? Janelle Brown has always been the calm voice of the Brown family. Practical, intelligent, steady. When she joined Kody and Meri in the early 90s, she truly believed plural marriage meant teamwork, shared responsibility, and spiritual purpose. Janelle working, raising kids, group shots of early Sister Wives seasons. To her, polygamy wasn't chaos. It was structure, a community, a system she genuinely wanted to believe in. But the story she lived wasn't the story she keeps defending today. While Janelle saw stability, others in her own family saw cracks. Christine saw emotional neglect. Robyn saw hierarchy and power struggles. And the kids saw favoritism, absence, and emotional distance. Still, through it all, Janelle held firm. Polygamy works, she would say. Just not with Kody. But that sentence, those 6 words, are the very thing fans can't forgive. Fans began asking, how can Janelle defend a system she watched collapse from the inside? A system that hurt her children. A system that made her feel alone. She's still protecting Kody's culture. She's ignoring the darker side. Why won't she admit polygamy harmed these kids? Janelle insists she only rejects Kody, not the lifestyle. To her, polygamy could work, with the right personalities. But for others, including David, the damage goes much deeper. Unlike Janelle, David didn't grow up embracing plural marriage. David lived through the trauma it left behind. David has shared stories of competing for affection. Stories of siblings divided. Stories of emotional wounds that don't fully heal. Polygamy didn't bring us together. It tore us apart. And we're still dealing with that pain. This contrast, Janelle defending polygamy, David exposing its damage, created the perfect storm. Because for the first time, someone close to Janelle challenged the narrative she held onto for decades. And fans couldn't ignore it. As discussions grew louder online, a new revelation surfaced, one fans didn't expect. Janelle wasn't defending polygamy because she believes it works, she was defending something else entirely. Janelle was defending the family she once had. The vision she believed in. The life she sacrificed for. To admit polygamy failed, would be to admit that 30 years of struggle were for nothing. This wasn't about belief. This was about survival. And once fans understood that, the entire debate changed. When the twist became clear, reactions were split. I feel bad for her now. She's trauma bonded to her past. She needs to heal, not defend polygamy. David is the first person truly being honest about the harm. The backlash wasn't about hate. It was about accountability. Fans wanted honesty, healing, growth. But Janelle's loyalty, to her past, to the Browns, to the life she once believed in, is stronger than anyone realized. And that loyalty is exactly what keeps the debate alive today. In the end, Janelle's story isn't about defending polygamy. It's about defending the version of herself she once had to become. A woman who worked non-stop. A mother who raised 6 strong kids. A partner who believed loyalty could fix anything. David's story, however, forces us to confront the truth Janelle rarely touches. The harm of polygamy isn't measured in rules or schedules, it's measured in the hearts of the children it leaves behind. And as long as Janelle continues to speak from a place of loyalty, and David speaks from a place of pain, the debate will continue. But maybe, this time, the world is finally listening. If this deep dive helped you understand the emotional layers behind the Browns' story, tap like so more fans can join the conversation. And don't forget to subscribe for more long-form Sister Wives documentaries every week. Tell us in the comments, do you think Janelle is protecting polygamy, or protecting her past?